Welcome to the University of Tennessee Extension session on Marketing CutFlowers. My name is Rachel Painter, and I get to serve as an Extension Specialist in Value-Added Agricultural Marketing. In this video, I will give you an introduction to developing a marketing mix. Before we do so, I want to share a little bit about our Center for Profitable Agriculture and UT Extension. At the center, we assist producers statewide in evaluating, planning, and developing value-added enterprises. You can find out more about what we offer, including educational programs, tools, and direct consultations by visiting our website at cpa.tennessee.edu. I also want to encourage you to find your local extension agent. There's an extension agent in all 95 counties here in Tennessee, and you can find them at utianews.tennessee.edu. Our agricultural and natural resources agents are ready to help you with education about production and management of your operation within these major focus areas, as you can see on your screen. As we dive deeper into the marketing mix, there are some documents that can help you as you outline your marketing mix and write your marketing plan. The one on the left here you can see is a business planning publication for a marketing plan specifically. Publication D197-C. This is published through the Department of Agricultural and Resource Economics at UT, and you can find that simply by searching for UT Extension publication and then the publication number D197-C. This is part of a series that has other publications that can help you in writing a full business plan, which includes a business description section and a financial plan, among others. And Publication A in that series can help you pull all of those things together to write a full business plan. For the marketing plan specifically, the worksheet on the right is here to help you as you take some notes and try to understand how you can develop your marketing mix specifically. This is CPA info number 424, and it is available on the CPA website. And again, that's cpa.tennessee.edu, or you can find these in the links of the description of this video. If you can't find those, you can email me at any time, and I'm happy to send them to you as well. Marketing is more than just a sales pitch. Marketing is planning and executing a set of objectives to bring buyers and sellers together so that a sale can take place. It is more than just promotion. So promotion is only one part of marketing. How do we actually set those objectives? Typically, our objectives or our goals are something bigger picture so that we are trying to meet a certain goal in a certain defined time period. They should be actionable and clearly defined. Generally, our marketing objectives or goals will revolve around four main things: typically acquiring new customers, developing loyal return customers or customer retention, increasing brand awareness and trust, or a benchmark of a certain amount of sales or revenue. So we might be trying to sell a certain volume, we might be trying to bring in a certain amount of revenue, again, in a certain defined time period. We want to really focus on acquiring new customers and customer retention, especially with CutFlowers, because they do have other places to go purchase CutFlowers. So we really want to make sure that we are finding new customers all the time, but also keeping our return customers. Return customers are a big strategy because they are going to typically spend more per purchase. So they have already become loyal because they trust you, they liked what they got last time, and so they are willing to spend more per purchase. And typically, again, they've already built trust with you. They already have brand loyalty. They're returning in the first place. So hopefully they will be telling others about you as well. And one of our main marketing strategies should always be word of mouth. So we always want to be trying to retain our customers because that means that they are happy and returning and more willing to share about you with others. How do you determine what strategies to use to meet those objectives or goals? We want to focus on the marketing mix. This is also referred to as the producer's P's. These are very basic elements of a marketing strategy. So the producer's P's, or your marketing mix, are product, price, place, and promotion. Value-added agriculture marketing strategies. There are two main value-added marketing strategies, and those are be better and be unique. Now, other people that are selling things that are not value-added are typically also considering a third strategy, which is to be cheaper. This is not ideal for you because value-added means that you are trying to capture a greater portion of the consumer dollar. So why would we want to be cheaper? We're going to leave that strategy to our competitors, the maybe Walmarts of the world or the larger companies, and we are going to focus on be better and be unique. When we're trying to focus on those strategies, we're going to focus on our customer and what they're looking for and how we can meet them where they're at. When we're looking at our customer, we want to consider the 4 C's of marketing: the benefit, consumer benefit, the consumer cost, convenience, and communication. The customer is at the center of all of our marketing efforts and our focus. When we look at those, we want to match them up with our producer's P's. Again, our marketing mix, we just went over this. The product, price, place, and promotion should be matching up with our consumer's C's so that we are meeting our customers' needs when it pertains to that product, price, place, and promotion. When we match those up again, we have product with consumer benefit. So how is your product better or more unique? Now, I will say we are not trying to put down our competition. We are not trying to say our product is better because we can just share what about that product actually is better or service. So in order to do so, we need to know what our customer wants. We need to know what benefits they are looking for when it comes to the quality of that product, your production methods. They might really care about locally produced. Hyperlocal is a main marketing strategy these days, a topic that a lot of people are interested in. So the closer you can get to your customer, the better. So you can also share about the freshness or shelf life of your products, especially when it comes to those that they could purchase from another florist or something like that. So again, how would you do that? You don't need to share that the other flowers that you're going to get are going to die within a few days because they've been shipped here from overseas and tell this long story about the other product that they could get. You just need to focus on the product that you have to offer and how long it is expected to last. So you would share that these were picked this morning and they should have a shelf life of about 2 weeks. So please come back and see me in 2 weeks because that's as soon as you're going to need another bouquet from me. So again, this is how you would communicate with your customer about the benefits that they are looking for, what your product or service brings to the table that they might be seeking out. Again, product with consumer benefit, make sure you're communicating those things with them as well in the terms of how do you support your local community? How is a purchase from you, your flowers are coming to support you and your farm, supporting a shorter supply chain or environmentally friendly? How are they supporting a generational family farm and you get to continue your family's legacy by selling these flowers? Again, on the website, you might want to share those benefits that they're getting or how they can find out more about that on your website. And you might have something like this Falcon Ridge Farms does here, Meet the Family, or We Grow Flowers. So it's not just about you can buy flowers, it's that we grow flowers. So they are sharing that they are growing them themselves. There's information about how they grow the flowers and pictures of the production fields online. So again, how can you share with them about what you're doing? And then they're interested in making that purchase. You can also share about made items. So if you're making resin flower items, if you're selling dried flowers, if you are making wreaths or other items from your flowers, how is that going to prolong the life? How are they getting access to your unique skills that you possess from your background? Maybe you were a florist. Maybe you did something else before this. Maybe you took a certain class or gained a unique skill in some other way. For unique experiences, there are so many unique experiences that come into play with agritourism and CutFlowers. There's fields of sunflowers and photography sessions. There's pick your own flowers. There's digging up tulip bulbs after they've already bloomed. So there's tons of different ideas out there as far as unique experiences go in the flowers at your farm, even off-site. If you don't want to welcome people onto your farm, you can have flower experiences other places. So teaching classes, that kind of thing, at another location in your town. Here's some examples of what that might look like. So you could have a flower bar and they could put together their own bouquet if they are interested. You can help them through that process because sometimes that's intimidating to your customer, but letting them have that experience of seeing you put together that bouquet right in front of them can oftentimes mean a lot to your customer. Again, a unique wreath option, dried flowers, and it's going to last, at least a few years, hopefully, and something that they've never maybe seen before either. A seed starting workshop so that they can learn to do this themselves. You're offering your information and education, so they get to come and learn that from you and gain your knowledge and have that experience. Typically, they're not going to come do that by themselves, so they're going to come with a friend and have an experience together. So again, this is how you're matching up what you're offering with what your customer is looking for, what they need. And we also want to make sure that there is a niche or a place in that market for that. If there's already a lot of your competitors that are offering simple bouquets of zinnias and sunflowers thrown together, what is something that you could offer that is something a little bit different that other customers might be looking for and they're not able to find? So we want to think about what are customers looking for and what are we offering to fill that need. Price with consumer cost. What are your customers willing to pay? This is very important, and we want to think about how many different price points they should have available to them. So again, some customers don't really want to make very many decisions. They want most of the bouquets to all look the same, and they want them to cost the same so that they don't have to think about, should I get the cheaper one or should I get the more expensive one? And they just want that one price point. Others want to be able to make a decision, and they treat the shopping as an experience, and they want to stand there and they want to look at all the different flowers and talk to you about it. And they want to make a decision based on what they're trying to do with those flowers. They might even want to, again, help make their own bouquet, or they might want to have inputs into what colors go into that bouquet. So what is your customer looking for and what are they willing to pay? Number one. And what is the current supply and demand in your area? So you're trying to match your price. You're trying to set your price. You are a price maker, not a price taker. And so you are trying to understand what your customer is willing to pay, what they're already going to pay if they go find your product or service from someone else, and how price sensitive are they? So if you increase your price by a few dollars, are they going to seek out an alternative? Or are they willing to take on that price increase and still purchase the same? If you're in a higher income area, typically your audience, your customer is not going to be as price sensitive, and that would be good news for you, but that can also mean that you need to have a more luxury product to start with. So they're going to have maybe higher expectations of what the product is that you are selling to them. You need to really understand your cost of production before you can start setting a price. If your customers are only willing to pay $10 for a bouquet and it costs you $12 to make that bouquet, then you are not making money. So we need to make sure we understand our cost of production before we start setting a price, as well as what the consumer is willing to pay. How would we do that? We would, number one, want to start with a budget. So here is a cut flower production in Tennessee publication, and there is a simple budget included at the end of that publication. You can find that publication at tiny.utk.edu/TN-CutFlowers. Or again, you can search this, just cut flower production in Tennessee Center for Profitable Agriculture, and it should come up. And again, in this publication, you can learn more about marketing and trends for cut flowers, as well as cultivars, harvest methods, and more. But in this, you can also find this simple budget. Now, this is just for sunflowers. You can replicate this for other flowers as well, and you would want to have a budget for every different kind of flower that you are growing, so that you know your gladiolus are maybe making you so much money, what your zinnias are maybe losing you money. So we want to be really aware of what we are costing ourselves by growing each flower, how many of those stems are included in each bouquet, etc. Place matched up with convenience. So again, our producers P, place matched up with our consumers C, convenience. Where are your products physically offered? Where would your customer go to pick up their bouquet or their wreath or whatever product it is that you have to offer? What is your channel of distribution? Are you delivering all of these? Are they coming to you? What is the logistics of how you're getting those there? How often do you have to deliver? We want to really consider as well how your place is matched up with convenience as far as online presence goes as well. How easy is it to purchase online from you and find a pickup location as well if you're trying to offer that? If they can make purchases online, the least number of clicks that they can make is better, of course. So we want to make sure that it is quick and easy and extremely convenient to make that purchase online. Sometimes these online purchases are paired up with community-supported agriculture subscriptions, so CSAs, they're commonly referred to. So CSAs, they would go and make a purchase for 6 bouquets or 7 bouquets or 10 bouquets, and they would pay for it all up front, and then they would have a certain on-site pickup location somewhere in town or on your farm where they could come and pick up those flowers regularly. So again, we want to make it as convenient and easy as possible to find us, to make that purchase, and to be happy with their purchase. So again, how can they find you? In person and online. We want to consider maybe multiple modes of convenience location. So we want to think about on farm, you pick, maybe we want to consider including these flowers in someone else's CSA subscription. So if you don't offer vegetables or fruit or meat, maybe another nearby farmer does, and you could match your flowers up with their CSA to reach their customers. If they don't already offer cut flowers, they can be an easy add-on to a vegetable CSA. We also may want to consider farmers markets. That's a great way for especially beginners to get their name out there and to find customers. We might want to think about a food hub or a distribution hub or retailer grocery stores. So where are these customers going and how can we make it as convenient as possible to make this purchase? When we think about place with convenience, we of course want to go through many different considerations with that, our time being majorly one of them. And we want to think about whether we do want visitors on our farm or our property. Are we going to invite them onto our farm? And we should consider all of the liability and risk that would come with that. Or are we going to take our flowers somewhere else to meet that customer? So we want to consider the time that would take us, because that time is money, and that is our labor time, to market and sell these products. So does this place that we are going to sell these flowers or other products at have what we need so that we can sell our product? Does it have enough customers? Is there shade because we don't want these flowers sitting in the sun? Can we bring a tent to offer shade? And we really want to make sure that it's a temperature that our flowers aren't going to start wilting immediately when we get them out. And again, how easy is it to make a purchase? Are there many different forms of acceptable payment? Can they pay online? Can they pay with a token? Can they pay with something else to pay you for these? And how can they make that as easy as possible? For your customers as well, where you are selling your products might influence their ability to actually make that purchase. So if they have to worry about the different ground surfaces, It's a great idea to share with them how accessible it is to reach you at your location. So if you're at a farmer's market, how close are you to the entrance? How close are you to parking? How can they physically find you? Is there good signage up? Are there restrooms? That's extremely important for new moms. Maybe they need to make sure that there's a restroom on site. So addressing all of these things and how convenient it is to come and find you and have a great experience purchasing from you is extremely important to your customers. We also want to make sure that we are offering our flowers and a time and date when our customer can actually come and make that purchase. So what is their schedule like? Do they work during the day and they can't come to a Tuesday market? Or maybe they work on the weekends. Maybe they work nights. Maybe they already have something going on every Saturday morning, so they can't go to the local farmers market on Saturday morning. Is the local retail store where you're selling your flowers open when your customer that would typically spend the most money on your flowers or sell, come and purchase multiple bouquets would be available to come and shop with you? We want to really consider our customer schedule when they're typically making those purchases. Maybe they're typically buying their cut flowers on a Thursday or a Friday because they're going to have an event on the weekend and they want to make sure that they are as fresh as possible. So they really don't want to buy flowers on Monday or Tuesday. That's just an example. So again, that could be completely not true for your customer, but you want to make those considerations a part of your strategy and your marketing mix so that you can make sure you're meeting your customer where they are with what they want. Promotion with communication. So when we are thinking about promoting our products, we want to do it in a way where our customer will actually see and hear that communication. So we want to use many different strategies. Typically, when we're trying to help a student learn something, we want to make sure that we teach it or say it in 3 different ways. So we might write it on the board, we might send a reminder email or text to their parents, or we might say it out loud. That would be 3 different ways. We also want to do that with our customers. We want to say things out loud to them and interact with them in person if possible. We want to have a sign that clearly states what they need to know. We want to put things on social media so that they can find out about us through that channel, and that way that they can get to know us and see us more regularly and kind of prompt their brains to think about us the next time they're thinking about cut flowers. We can also think about established media channels. We can put ads in local magazines or newspapers. We can try to get on the local news. And this doesn't all have to be paid. Sometimes you could talk about your event coming up because it is something for your community to enjoy, and you can share about the different flowers and how you got interested in it as an article about your new flower farm. So again, think outside the box how you can share about what you do and what you offer, and not necessarily push the product itself. So we want to share simply our story. We want to share about what we have to offer, but not in a way that is salesman-like. So how does our customer want to contact us, and how do they want to be contacted? So when a customer has feedback, if they simply want to share a beautiful photo of the flowers with their event going on, if they simply want to share a beautiful photo of your flowers or your item in their home once they've gotten it home, then how can they do so? Or if something goes wrong, if they get it home and it was completely damaged or it had bugs all over it and they are not satisfied with this purchase, how can they get in touch with you without blasting it all over social media? So we want to make it as convenient as possible to communicate with us. So we want to share our phone number or email, social media, make sure that they know it's okay to reach out and message you, or how should they get back in contact with you next week or the next week after that. Just make sure that they know how they can contact you specifically as well. We also want to make sure that we know how they like to be contacted. What channels do they like to communicate through? Do they like to watch the news? Do they like to read the newspaper? Do they like to get their news from social media? Do they typically go to the same diner every Friday morning and have coffee with their friends? And they would like to hear about you there? Would you put an ad on the table at that coffee shop or put your business cards there at the counter? So we want to think outside the box about how we could communicate and reach our customer and how we could make sure our information is in front of their eyes and they can hear it as well as commonly as possible, as frequently as possible. What does that customer value as well? So if we are just a lot of noise, if we're not actually sharing what they care to hear about, then they're going to start tuning you out. So we want to make sure that what we are sharing and what we are promoting is actually what they value. So again, we want to understand, what is our customer value? What are they looking for? What is their lifestyle like? And how can we reach them? One way to start trying to look at this is what other businesses they follow or frequent. So we know that they are loyal to those businesses, but why? We want to start trying to figure that out. Some tips with communication: we want to share our story and our mission, our origin story, what we do on a daily basis, more than promoting the product itself. If someone feels bought into what you are doing and they care about what you're doing and they feel like they're a part of it and they get to know you as a person, then that is what they actually want to support, more so than the flowers themselves. So how can you start sharing your story and your mission and why you do what you do, why you care about what you are doing, more than promoting the product? We also want to incorporate images and videos. The algorithms these days are really picking up on faces as well. So just posting pictures of pretty flowers is not really going to cut it. We want to make sure that we are putting our face out there if we are focusing on social media. This is meant to increase social presence, which means that it's like a real person behind the screen. And so that seems very authentic and transparent as well. So I know it might feel uncomfortable to start videoing yourself or taking pictures with you and them. It doesn't have to be that all the time, but the algorithms are really picking up on when there's a face in the photo or on the screen. And again, that does help increase social presence and make it feel like you are a real person. So that's important for multiple reasons, but especially because of the algorithm. We also want to communicate with our labels and our signage. We want to make sure that it's easy to see our farm name or our name and who we are, what we stand for. You can see here on the Stevens Flowers truck that you can largely see Stevens there. Even in a photo from far away, it's easy to read. So we want to make sure that we are communicating with all of our labels and all of our signage. We're going to have a sign with what the bouquets are or what the price is. We want to make sure that we are putting all of our information again of how our customer could contact us on our label. If we have a business card, we want to make sure that that is easily reachable and they can see it as soon as they walk up. We want to make sure that we are asking for feedback, reviews, and tags. So again, word of mouth is one of the best forms of promotion, and we want to actually ask for that. If you don't ask, they probably won't do it, and a much higher percentage will if you give that intentional ask. So physically ask your customers, your loyal customers that have returned, please share about us. Please tag us on social media. I would love to see those flowers when you put them in your home. I would love to see them when you design that beautiful bouquet for your event this weekend. And please leave us a review. So particular customers really care about reviews and they take those very seriously. So you can give reviews on Google, on Facebook, and others. So make sure you're asking your loyal customers for reviews. So that would really help us. I would really appreciate it if you would give us a review. You can also think about providing a backdrop so that it is much easier to take that beautiful photo with your flowers as they make that purchase. Then it feels more like an experience, even if you're not on farm and actually providing a major experience. The experience is getting to interact with you and to pick out their flowers, take a picture. Again, this is why people are starting to make the flower trucks or the flower carts or other items, so that what you are actually physically purchasing your flowers from is worthy of that Instagram photo as well. And again, we want to make sure we ask them to tag us so that we can share it as well. So with our focus on the consumer and thinking about our target customer, we can then focus on matching up those C's with the P's that we have been talking about. So our consumer benefit, consumer cost, convenience, and communication all boil down to the main things that our customer is looking for. And when we can address those with our producer's P's, we are well on our way to a marketing mix and a full marketing plan. Again, my name is Rachel Painter, and I'm a value-added agricultural marketing specialist. You can reach out to me. There's my email on the screen, rpainter@utk.edu, or you can find your local extension agent as well. I always end my presentations with a challenge. So today I want to challenge you to meet 3 other producers and follow them on social media. So look for your producers in Tennessee on social media, find out what they're doing, find out how they are communicating with their target customers, and how maybe you can learn from them and implement some of those strategies yourself. I also want you to, in the next month or so, ask some of your loyal customers, if you're already in business, to review your online promotional content. So that might look like doing an audit of your website or your social media channel and see if they can find all the information that matters to them. So they're going to know a little bit more about you than maybe someone that doesn't. And so they'll be they can easily pick up on something that might be missing from your website or your social media page. So some of that might be your location or your address or your hours or where they can find your product. Again, reach out if you have any questions, and thank you so much for your time.